Welcome back to the channel, fam. This is Brian, the Introverted Marketer. It ain't hard to tell, it's simple. Now, in this video, we're tapping it with the Shikaku generator. You can see it's right here, and we're going to test that out. Once again, it's part of the Manaka royalty suite of tools. You can see here, Front End Pro plus Elite, everything all the way tapped in. Now, let's look at the tool here. We can see here we have different grid size from 5 by 5 all the way to 25 by 25. You can see here. Let's say we went with this, and with these examples, I usually like to do the 4 by 4, and that's just how it looks right there. Layouts and the margins is still there. You can still move the grids individually or select this to move the grids as a group, or our trim sizes is still here. Layouts and margins is still adjustable, same with the typography. The appearance showing the solution. And this is also something that haven't played before. I'm not familiar with this kind of game, so definitely one of the first things you do, you bring the instructions. Pop, bring the instructions right there. It's a logic puzzle played on a rectangular grid. So we have our instructions right here, and it's automatically done. And of course, these you can modify yourself, but it comes done for you anyways. And of course, you could change the font and everything to make your books truly unique and truly yours. And that is the great part about this. And then we have the bulk feature. We're going to go by 5 by 5. We'll go with 4. And we have everything here the same. We'll keep our titles there. And we want to do 10 of these. I always do these as an example for just a little 10 pager, but probably something like this, maybe 10, 20, 30, or 40 page. Just a lot of different puzzles and choices for people to play their game. So we're going to go ahead and go with this. And we're going to go ahead and add it to the K. You can see this added to the K. We'll overwrite the existing pages. So it'll be 10 fresh pages, right? 40s in the 5 by 5 in terms of the size. And we're going to generate all the pages. And you can see that was done instantly. So one of the first tools which just generates things instantly. That didn't take any time whatsoever. So you could create a bunch of these. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And you'll be good to go. You just get rid of all of these. You can see that it took literally no time. This is probably going to be the simplest puzzle to generate, like on demand, rapid fire. That's the bulk feature. And of course, my favorite feature to test out for you all has always been the story feature, the coloring book feature, because I think it's just a great option to give your audience. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a random idea. We'll let it do its thing. We'll generate and build the book, and we'll go from there. But one thing I do want to say before I pause the video, because this is going to take a little while, what I love about this is that you can pretty much just customize each and every page. Like if you just wanted to upload your own image, your own coloring book page, or your own imagery right here, you can by selecting this button right here, which is the upload to add image. Of course, you can add text, and of course, you add a page above, and whatever's selected here is going to be the next page. But with that being said, I know this is going to take a little while, so we'll pause the video, and we'll tap back in once this is actually finished, and I'll give you my final thoughts on this once everything is complete. All right, fans, so let's see what we got here. So here's our story ideas. Once again, tapping it back in with the squirrel. A young squirrel discovers a map leading to the legendary tree of golden acorns. So the first page, it actually didn't generate a coloring book page. You can see right here, we don't have any option to generate a coloring book. And then we have, it was a golden map. It showed a path to the legendary tree of golden acorns. And then we have our puzzle here. We have our coloring book page. And once again, we can change it when there's actually a coloring book image. So I do wonder, let me see. So we can drag this, but I wonder if we can modify it. Doesn't seem like we can copy it here or remove it. So that's the thing right here. Once it does these actual pages, you can't, doesn't seem like I can modify it here. If I wanted to make this a coloring book page by actually adding something like this, I can't exactly copy and paste it. But moving on, we can see here the map led to the mossy maze. They had to find the right patterns through the tall ferns, and once again you have another puzzle to solve, another coloring book page. And you can see here each and every time it's been about 24 pages. Every other page is meant to be a coloring book and a puzzle. We can just scroll down and check these out. And as I said, I know I keep saying this each and every time, I do love this feature right here because it just gives it a certain kind of appeal that makes it truly unique, because you can make essentially storybook puzzle games. It doesn't necessarily need to be coloring books. But that is the Shikaku puzzle generator, the story function right here. And once again, you see the different grid sizes you can do and how many grids per page you can do. Really great tool for creating Shikaku puzzles. Create them in bulk. Create storybooks that are actually coloring books if you want. Export them all as PNGs, SVGs, PDFs, or PowerPoints, or you can download individual pages. Another great tool. The next tool I'm going to cover, we can come down to Kai Elite. We're getting close to the end of this series that I'm doing here in Manaka Royalty. I know it's a bunch of tools here that I'm covering, but we're going to be covering the bridges generator, and we'll cover these tools, and then we'll get to the Drawn Ultima. But ultimately, great tool, a lot of options, truly customize and make it yours. But with that being said, I'm going to end the video right here. This is Brian, the Introverted Marketer, and it ain't hard to tell, it's simple. I'm going to catch you on the next video, family. Peace.